Najib's discharge, not amounting to an acquittal, his second, by the way, is reflective. In fact, it's one in a long line of cases which depict the incompetency of the Attorney General and the prosecution. The most famous, of course, the acquittal or the DNA of Zahid Comedy Ponorogo of the 47 charges. And people have no faith actually in the AG's chambers. The Teo Beng Hock case, sampai sekarang pun they're still running the narrative of suicide. Why would someone who's going to get engaged the following week want to commit suicide? It doesn't make sense. And there are only 4 suspects who could have thrown him out of the window, and that also they cannot prosecute, all covering each other up, trying to sweep things under the carpet. Rakyat is angry, okay? This government ministers or whatever may be in denial, but let me tell you in no uncertain terms that the Rakyat is angry, and we are unlikely to vote for the Madani government in GE16. You can rest assured of that. So Najib's, DNAA is one of a long line of cases which shows the incompetency of the Attorney General and the prosecution. Now, if the Attorney General can't do the job, he should be replaced. If there's no one in the civil service who is competent enough to hold the job, then they should parachute someone in from the private sector, just like what they did when they brought in Tommy Thomas. Okay, this Rakyat cannot stand this nonsense anymore. This so-called Madani cakap aja war against corruption, tapi when it comes to a crunch, when push comes to shove, you can see they are very lemah, very weak on corruption. They let all the kleptos go free. What the bloody heck, We are not fools, we're not stupid fools. You want to, run this government as if you are mind bontot, that's your business. But we are not pleased, okay? Stop playing silly buggers. I'm trying very hard to prevent myself from saying expletives, but I have a choice selection of expletives in at least half of a dozen languages that can aptly describe our incompetent Prime Minister and all the other driftwood and incompetent bloody fools in government. All useless. So please back up. Please be proud. Make Malaysians proud that we have you. By the way, I've also heard comments, people unfairly blaming the judiciary. I have spoken to sitting judges, and they have explained to me that if the prosecution has a weak case, then the judge has no choice but to throw the case out. Similarly, the judges cannot force the Attorney General or the prosecution to proceed if they do not wish to appeal or if they come up with a weak case. And the sad part is sometimes they purposely come up with a weak case to purposely lose because they've received directives, from upstairs. So that also shows a weakness in our system of government. There should be separation of powers between the executive and the prosecution. When the prosecution takes orders from the executive, all sort of nonsense can be covered up, especially by crimes performed by politicians. Now, most of the major crimes in Malaysia are not performed by criminals, but by politicians. Have you realized that? So, we should stop voting for people who are corrupt politicians, and vote for people with integrity. Unfortunately, there's a lack of people with integrity in politics because politics is thought of in Malaysia as a dirty business, and any right-minded person would not want to join politics. That's very sad. So the writing is on the wall. All you incompetent, corrupt buggers, we're going to kick you out at GE16. You can rest assured. Jangan haraplah kita nak vote for you. In fact, I'd rather you all pergi mampus and become compost, push up daisies. You serve humanity best as compost lah. Jadi bangkai baja bangkai lagi bagus. You know, you serve no useful purpose being alive, just taking up space and use up oxygen which other people need. So please go to hell.
A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed now seek the skies, and slowly clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again. Its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still, a light, a love, a living will.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.